specialist. Yeah, in cats. But why did you specialize yourself in take care of cats?
Uh,
That's okay. You have to time to think because it's about work, our meeting today. So that's okay. And you, Joaquin, who are you? Nice to have you here one more time.
Yes, I'm great. Thank you. Good evening for all. Andrea, Alessa, Luan,
Evening.
every nice. Well, my name is Joaquim Maia. I am from Portugal. I live here near Lisbon. 76 years old, retired, married, with a son, a daughter, 3 grandsons. And I already said, in my free time, I like very much to travel when I have the opportunity to travel. I like also staying to gym, exercising in the morning, reading books about history, story books, reading books about the countries, essentially about the countries, the news of the day also. I like to start the day with reading the news of the day. Also watching some series about nature in National Geographic, Odyssey is the most. I like also in some weekends go outside with my wife, take a lunch, a dinner. Sometimes I like when the weather is nice to walk. That's it, more or less.
And I have to ask you something, but it's about personal. Do you like football? If so, are you support Benfica or another team?
Sporting.
Sporting. It's from
my color is green, not red.
I was wondering, maybe Joaquin likes football and which team? Because I was watching Benfica match it just right now, a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
And not evening, but afternoon here. Daiane, are you listening to us as well?
yes, good afternoon.
Perfect. Can you present yourself for us?
Yes, sure. Sorry, guys, I was eating a chocolate, but I will turn
Don't
on
worry.
my camera. Well, my name is Daiane. I'm 23 years old. I live in São Paulo, capital. I study psychology. I am in the last year of college. Thanks God. I also work as an intern. Actually, I've got a new job this week, so I will start as a analyst in HR next week. So I'm very happy.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I work in a multinational company, so I need to use English my daily routine. So that's why I'm here. And I've been joining TALKNTALK for 4 months.
Nice. And finally, at last but not least, Andrea, who are you?
Hello guys, good afternoon. I'm Andrea. I'm 45 years old. I live in Guarujá. I work as an assistant, administrative. What else? I like to listen to music, drink wine. What else? Cooking, attending rock concerts. I'm addicted to concerts like Rock in Rio, Lollapalooza. That's it, guys, about me.
Yeah, perfect. I'm addictive about concerts as well, and especially Rock in Rio. It's amazing. And guys, I'm called Luan Hesky. I'm from Belém, Pará. Not Belém exactly, but yes, we can say Belém. And I've been living in Ribeirão Preto since last year, and I'm doing my master degree. But more than doing, I'm suffering because my experiments are so hard, and I'm get home late, lately, and I don't have time to experiences other talk meetings, unfortunately. But I hope to get by soon with this. And as a pleasure to meet with you here as always. And let's gonna start this questions is about your work, but as another, not another, but other vision about work. Now let's get started. And the first question is the, I think is the simple one, for example, but what do you do and why, more than do you do exactly your job? Why do you do this? For example, Alyssa, it's take care of cats. Why do you do this? Why did you choose or your path about it? Is it just tell us if you are comfortable? It's just about to know each other and thinking, and that's about philosophy of work, I guess. Alyssa, can you start?
I like both works, but I like more the cat sitter. I like cats. I prefer to work with cats, and I use toys. Não sei como que fala varinha, sabe aquela varinha de gato? Não sei como chama em inglês.
Stick, kind of stick, graveto, it can be.
In job and secretary work, I use the computer. I work in home office, so that's it.
Man, I didn't know you have two jobs. I've just one, but it was two jobs.
Yes, I have two
Nice.
jobs.
And differently than you, our friend Joaquin is in retirement, so you don't have to work anymore. But when you worked in your years in your job, what did you do, Joaquin, and why did you choose your job? Are you listening, Joaquin? You're muted. Let me help here.
Okay.
Yeah. For example, I asked you, what did you do when you worked and before your being retirement, and why did you choose your work?
Yes. My professional career. I worked in all my career. I think I said already about my career. I worked in Portuguese Airlines during 35 years. Then I did all my career in Portuguese Airlines until my retirement. About my job, it was the job that it always my dream. Worked is in my career that I got, because my dream always was working in aircraft, because I took a course of the electronic. I specialized in the electronic. Then I start working in Portuguese Airlines as an office when I entered in Portuguese Airlines, I started working as an office. After 7 years, after 7 years, as I was specialized in electronic, I will be transferred to the working in aircrafts, working in maintenance aircraft. I asked for to have the possibility to doing my transfer to the working in the aircrafts. Then after 7 years, I start working there directly in the aircraft. I worked directly in with the personnel in aviation, commands, co-pilots, because my work, I work directly in the aircrafts. For example, when aircraft arrived in the airport, before the next flight, we need to make one checkup in all the instruments, in all the navigation systems, before the aircraft starting another flight. Then it's my job is to inspection all the systems, to check if it's okay to start another flight. Then it was my work during a lot of years. I would say it's work with a lot of responsibility. Work is a lot of responsibility because the lives of the people in many situations, depending on the work that you made in our jobs. Yeah. Before I worked in Portuguese Airlines, I was in the Navy. I was a sailor. It was there as a sailor that I took the course of electronic during my military service. Before that time, I grew up in the province, not here in Lisbon. I grew up in the center of the Portugal, in one little village, until my military service. Until my military service, I lived in the province. I came to Lisbon after entering into my military service. In that time that I lived in the province, it was hard time for me, because the work is hard for me, because I start working early with the age of 11. I start working in one factory, bricks factory, with 11 years, 10 hours per day. It's hard for when teenager with 11, 12 years. Then in the champ, in all the works all the kinds of works in the champs, all kinds of works. I would say that my future starts when I enter in the military service in Navy, and I would say it's a new life for me when I start working, when I enter in the military service.
Great career, man. No, it's a really
I
a great
don't
career.
I don't know if my speech was understanding. I don't.
No, perfect. Perfect. We know your career life, and it's about a great career. Yeah, to follow your path was, I think it's not in the lack of a good word, your path was so good to follow, I guess. And
I
you,
thought a
Diane,
lot.
sorry, keep it up.
I thought a lot by
That's okay.
a lot my future. As a teenager, I thought a lot about my future, because it's hard, the life that I had in that time. Yeah.
Really it is. But we always have a good time here in talking. It's about, and this is always a good thing, and we are free to talking about here, like you already know. But it's about, for example, I'm curious about Diane. Do you have a new job, for example, and what do you do there? And especially in your new job, can you tell us?
Yeah, sure. Well, I work in the HR area, as I said, because it's an area related to my formation, that is psychology. So in this area, normally I can help people, in different ways. Nowadays, I work in a sub area in human resources called business partner. And in this area, I can help some areas when they have like HR problems or problems with their team, or someone needs to resign. I help them when they have. And in my new job, I will work in the recruitment. So I will make some selective process. I already worked in the same company before, so I'm coming back to the same team that I worked before, and I will do something similar to what I have done in the past. So it's simple. It's just some things related to recruitment in general.
It's about recruitment of new employers for the company.
Exactly.
Yeah, nice. Really nice to know you. And you, Andrea, what do you do? What did you choose to do? What exactly you do in your job?
Yes, I work as an assistant administrative. I am responsible to, how can I say, to buy things to the restaurant, because there are 3 restaurants. It's a group. There is a stock to put the goods in one place to distribute to the restaurants. And I am also responsible to make the payrolls for the employees. It's about 80 employees. And what else? I need to enter on the system the how can I say, not the fiscal invoice,
No, can be. It can be.
Not the fiscal. It's a bureaucratic work. That's it.
And as you answered this question, is about the question number 3. Do you consider your work routine fair? And 8 hours a day, 6 hours a day, do you consider it fair for you?
Yes, now I consider fair, because in the past I would spend more than 12 hours working. I used to enter 7 a.m. and until 10 p.m. a day. So it's really hard in the past, but nowadays I think it's fair. Thank God.
Thank God for that. And you, Alyssa, do you consider your work routine fair?
Um, I work in the multinational. We make airplanes, and I work on the demand of production. I make the trips, USA, Mexico. So it's on demand mess. And with the cats, I go the home as the ones travel. It's more in holidays. But I don't have much routine.
I wish to have the same because I had to wake up at the same hour and go to university, do the same things. It's so boring. And you, Joaquin, your career, do you consider your career fair and to follow or not?
We worked 8 hours per day. Is the 40 hours per week. It's the normal schedule here in Portugal is more or less 8 hours per day. Yeah, I consider it's normal fare, but later I start working in shifts because at the beginning I worked early during the day between 18 till 17 to 8 hours. Later I start working in shifts, turnos por turnos. Then I worked also with three shifts. The first between 8 until 5 p.m. The second 4 p.m. till midnight, and the third midnight till 8 a.m. Then in that shift we need to work all the night, and it's very hard to work during the night, essentially in the winter time. In many nights with cold nights, raining, snowing, windy nights. It's very hard to work during the night. In that situation, I think I have not a good routine fare.
I have to agree, unfortunately. And you, Diane, do you have a fair routine to follow in your former job, in your actual job?
Yeah, I consider that nowadays I have a fair schedule because I work as an intern, so I can manage to work just 6 hours per day, so it's great because
Dream.
yeah. So it's great because I can have other things in my day, you know. I like to go to the gym, so I can join here. So it's fair, but next week I don't know because I will start working 8 hours a day, so maybe I will just be able to work and study in my free time if I have free time, so I don't know. Wish me luck, guys.
Aproveitando, enjoying your answer, and you can answer the next question. For example, what would be your favorite work schedule? For example, do you prefer a fixed one or just variant shift turns or something else?
I prefer fixed ones because I think that it's easier to communicate with people because they are working the same time, But I have a colleague that she works just 4 days per week, and she doesn't work at Fridays, for example, and she can manage to work just 8 hours during the 4 days of the week that she needs to work. And for me, that's the perfect schedule ever. You just need to work like 4 days. You have time to go to the gym. You have a work-life balance. At the same time, you have the Friday, all the Friday for you. It's perfect. So my perfect schedule would be something like that. But in the future, if I be able to just do my schedule, my obligatory schedule, I think that I would be happy, without extra hours, this kind of things. So that's it.
No,
What about you?
perfect.
I don't know if you work.
Oh, I don't have a
What about
routine, unfortunately. A routine, like how I can say, if I fix a routine. I have one. I like to wake up, take a shower, and go to university and do my things now. But for example, Tuesday, Wednesday, I didn't go there. I didn't have to work. There wasn't anything to do. But fucking Thursday, my day was so full. I was guilted about anything, and I go out, and especially at 9 p.m., for example, if there's, so I don't have a routine. I wish I could have one, but if I wondering, well, it's about, I prefer my routine, I guess, and don't have one. I think it's so much better, but it's a personal opinion. And you, Alyssa, what would be your favorite work schedule? Just days or another ones?
I like the routine. I like the work of the production from 5 a.m. to 3 p.m. I was from the production, but today I can work in home office, and I prefer. Today I work from the 7 a.m. at 5 p.m. And I like. That's it.
Perfect. 12 hours, I guess, with the intervals. And you, Andrea, what would be your favorite work schedule? Or just not to go to work, or go stay at home, or something else?
No, I prefer going to work because for me it's boring. Stay at home. I don't know. In the pandemic times, I'm staying a little crazy because of this. But I would like to have a Saturday free because I have to work until midday, and when I arrive at home, I don't have so much energy to do my thing. So I have just Sunday to rest, and it's like it's not so good. So if I could change something, it would be have a Saturday free. It's be nice.
Nice, really nice to schedule. And you, Joaquin, what is your favorite work schedule?
Yeah, my favorite schedule is working the 5 days, Monday, Friday, the preference working during the day, doing the 8 hours between 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. Is my preference, with the weekend also in the Saturday and Sunday. But I like also working in the for example, we had one shift between 4 p.m. till midnight. I liked also this schedule because midnight is more or less early, not too late. Midnight, and this schedule is good for example when we need to solve problems. We have the day free to do something that we need. If you need to solve problems in when public service, in the post office, for example, if you need to resolve something, we have the day free to solve that problems. It's this schedule is so good also. I like also this schedule between 4 till midnight. It's good also. The worst was the midnight till 8 a.m. It's the worst schedule for me.
I wouldn't have it. Midnight, if you send me a message at midnight,
Yeah.
I won't respond. I'm just sleeping. The cell is in silence mode. You can find me. Midnight, I have to sleep.
It's very difficult to start working at midnight. It's very difficult.
And guys, the other one, the question here, it's the question number 5. I don't know in Portugal, but here we call concurso público. So if you pass in the concurso público, you're a public servant, servidor público. And the question is, would you rather be a public servant or be in the private sector? Think it's about your area. For example, if you're a psychologist, it's better be in the public servant or in the private. For example, I'm a pharmacist, and private sector is about pharmacists is so much better than public servant, because you have income from the companies, and if you sell more, you gain more. So generally, it's private sector is better for me and for you guys. What's about Daiane? What's about you? Would you rather be a public servant or a private sector?
Considering the area that I'm working right now, the human resources, I would rather be in the private sector, because I think that the things are more fluid, and it's harder to be fully accommodated, because you have like you are being pressed all the time to make things more agile, more fast, so I prefer this kind of model. I think that in the public sector, it's easier to just keep doing the same thing as always, for long years. So I don't like this style, even considering the stability that you can have in this sector. So for me, it would be better if I would work just in private sector. But if I work as a psychologist, like in the clinic or something like that, I would rather be in the public sector because of the stability and because of the salary, of course.
I knew it. You would have answered this. And you, Andrea, and you worked. Would you better be a public servant or a private sector?
I would rather be a public servant because of the stability, the good salary, depending on the area. But I believe the stability is the main advantage that public service has. I tried to do a concurso público, but I quit because I need to study hard.
Really?
Yes, and I have no patience to study hard nowadays. Only English, because I love English, but for me, it's difficult to stay in front of the computer and studying a lot. Yeah, that's it.
Nice. And I can imagine take care of cats in a public service, but if for you, Alyssa, would you rather be a public servant or a private sector?
I prefer the private sector. I prefer the autonomy work, really. Do my role, but the home office is cool too. When I go to the company, the people likes to stop and talk too much, and I cannot be productive. And at home, the work comes out better. So I prefer today.
Tomorrow we don't know.
Yes.
And you, Joaquin, in your area, do you prefer a public servant or private sector?
The company, the Portuguese Airlines, where I work, it was a semi-private company. It was private, but also public, because the state, the government, has a participation in the company. Then it's a semi-private company. But I would say here in Portugal, all the people try to get jobs in the private companies, because they have better salaries in the private companies. They can to increase the better conditions in as a professions than in the public servant. But many people like also to get job in the public servant, because the public servant is more the job is more a sure job, portanto mais certo, o emprego é mais certo do que nas empresas privadas. Then there are some people, they prefer to earn less money and have a stabilized job than working in private companies, because the work it's not sure, because in any opportunity they can leave the company and don't have job anymore.
Exactly what I think in my area, I guess. Yes, but I think it happens, and I thought that all of you would have answered public servant, but I was mistaken, really mistaken. I was wrong about it. And our next question is about polemic. Do you think you receive a good salary? I'm starting with me. I don't receive a good salary, so please, Ministério da Educação, get higher of my salary. It's too low. But it's about you guys. Do you think you receive a good salary for your work? For example, Andrea, what do you think?
I would like to receive more, but for me it's enough, because
everyone like.
Yes, not enough, because I would like to travel every here, for example, to another country. I can't do it, but I can't complain about my salary because I'm survive. I do a lot of things that I want to do. I want to do so. Yeah, it's enough for me.
It's enough. Or is enough.
Yeah.
And you, Alyssa, it's enough for you?
Yes. Logical that everyone would like
Yeah.
the more, but I think it's far. And I complement with a cat sitter, so it's far.
And you, Diane? Fair enough, not fair.
Nowadays, as an intern, I don't think it's a good salary. I think that is in the average, and it's not. Oops, it's not enough. My camera is stopped. I don't know why, but I will try to fix it later. I
Let
think
me
that you.
help you.
Okay, it was you. But I think that in my future job that I will start next week, I think that it's a pretty fair salary. It's in the average, but for me, it will be enough considering my expenses. I think that's it. So that's it.
It can be. And you, Joaquin, what do you think?
It's
You
difficult.
received
It's
good?
difficult to answer this question because everyone like to earn more money. Yeah. It's the salary depends of the point of view of each one, because some people, for example, 1,000 euros is enough. For others, 5,000. It's less also. It depends, because as Andrea said, everyone should like to earn more money. But in my case, I would say for the average salaries in Portugal, I would say that I'm a good salary, I think, on average, because the salary, the minimum salary is not well. In this case, I think my salary, I think it's enough for me.
And as you answer this one, what would you do to increase your income, to increase your salary right now, for example, and for now on, so on in the future? What would you do?
For me?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Fortunately, I don't need to increase my salary because when I worked for example in 1990, 1986, 1987, I had much money because I have the opportunity there in my work in TV to do extra work, aquilo que nós chamamos de trabalho extraordinário. Then in that time I have the opportunity to earn much more money in extra work. Then okay, it's good for me, because in that time we have 2 children, 10, 15 years studying. Then I was more expensive life. the children's. But in this moment, I live alone with my wife. Then, fortunately, I don't need to improve my salary. But if I had if I need it, I'm not problem because I could to work in many other things because I worked a lot of time in the repairing televisions, radios, heater machines. I worked before starting working in Portuguese Airlines. I worked repairing electronic equipment like televisions, like radios, like heaters, all the things related with electricity or electronic. I had no problems if I needed to gain more money. I had no problems to hand much extra money. But fortunately, I don't need to much increase my salary.
Nice to know that. I didn't know about trabalho extraordinário. I think we call another work here in Brazil, I guess. But if you work in the same company and more than hours that you need, it's hora extra. I don't think it's
horas extras.
No, it's the same. So in Portugal. Nice to know that. And for you, Alyssa, what would you do to increase your income, for example, here from the future?
I really do work of the cat sitter to supplement my salary, and doing 3 hours and the weekends to share for this job just at this time. Together, cats and money, it's perfect. Is that today is that I changed position a short time ago with a secretary, and the English will have me in this company.
And you, Andrea, what would you do?
I think I've already, I am doing because I'm studying hard English. It's my dream to be fluent. I'm thinking a long term because I'm thinking the future, maybe I can find a job, a better job when I use my English. It's my dream, guys. So I'm studying hard for it. And unfortunately, Joaquin, here in Brazil, there is some jobs that we do an extra hour, but you don't receive for it.
Oh
so,
my God!
Yes.
It's not good. It's
reported.
not good. It's not
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Report. We have to report in.
Yes, but so I don't count with it, but I have to save money if I need to have extra money. I have to save money in the future. That's it, guys.
No, it's already happened with me. I was a jovem aprendiz when I was a teenager, and I worked 2 hours and after my routine ends, and I didn't receive anything.
Yeah.
But it was a deal with my boss to how I can say it, sleep there. But because after that I had to go to school, so it was a deal. I worked for you and you have to let me sleep here. It was terrible, really terrible, but it happened, but that's the past. It's always the
Yes.
past right now. And you, Diane, what would you do to increase your income?
Case I would do some extra work too, but when I was in the beginning of my college, I used to try to join in a initiation research, something like that, you know, iniciação científica,
Yeah.
like a project or something like that, to receive how can I say that? I always forget this word, bolsa de estudos.
I never asked you about bolsa de estudos in English.
It's
Really?
like, it's like internship, but it's
It's
not
a-
intern, it's like something ship. I forgot the word. But I used to receive that, you know, like it was a money that the college used to give me to study, to keep doing that project. And at the same time, I had this knowledge, you know, during the project, I had this experience in projects, scientific projects. So it was a way to increase my income too. And that's it. But nowadays I have work, so I can just do extra time and request my money.
That is basically, this is my life. I receive a bolsa de estudos,
Mhm.
yes, scholarship.
Scholarship, that word.
Scholarship.
I always forget this
Thank
word.
you,
And I always
Andrea.
confuse it with internship. Thanks,
You
Andrea.
saved our life here. It's basically my routine. And we can answer our last question, for example, to finish our meeting. And it's about, let me think it here. How could TNT help you to grow in your work? For example, it's about Philip talk, Philip philosophy, but TNT can help you, and how? For example, Joaquin, how TNT can help you right now?
For my work, TNT, it's not influence my job, isn't it? Because I am retired. Yes, if I knew if when I worked the TNT existing already, maybe it's good for me. But nowadays, as I am retired, the English that I learn here in TNT, I don't need anymore to learn English for my job. But it's very interesting. It's very interesting because I am very curious. I like very much to study, to learn. And TNT, it's nice. It's nice. I like a lot to stay here. It's very nice to know all the friends here in TNT. I like to improve my English skills, but at the same time to stay here with all the friends that we meet here in TNT, because I feel here in TNT like a family. All the friends here in these meetings. It's very nice. But it's good for me because as I like to travel. I like to travel. Then when we go abroad, it's interesting if you know to speak English. As you know, the English language is spoken over the world. Then it's interesting when we go abroad. When we check in the restaurants, in our situation, we need to ask for something that you need to meet for when visiting that you want to do. It's interesting. It's very interesting learning the English here in TNT.
Nice answer. Really nice answer. And you, Alyssa, how TNT can help you in your work or your work plans?
I help you with the English and the Spanish. I make a lot of trips, and I need to speak well, well, and understand better. So that's it.
And you, Andrea? I think you already say it for us, but if you have to.
Yes, I hope be prepared when the opportunity comes about my English. So TNT has helped me a lot, and also about my life, because I am very shy, and I don't know, guys, if you remember me when I started here on TNT. I almost opened my mouth and I almost don't open my mouth. Yes, and nowadays I am more comfortable to speak, even committing my mistakes. I know that I'm still committing a lot of mistakes, but I am more comfortable to do it. So I believe that TNT it's helped me a lot, and my dream it's my dreams come true one day, I believe.
No, we believe so, especially with you. And you, Diane?
My case, it's the same, but as I said before, I work in a multinational company, and I need to interact with a lot of people from another countries like Canada and also Mexico. So TNT helps me in the same way that helps Andrea, with English, because when I started, like in the beginning of the last year, I was very shy, to speak English. I wasn't able to talk in English in front of other people, and that was very bad in my work because I needed to talk with people, and I was like, no, I can't, to my manager. I was like, no, I can't, you can skip this time because I'm not confident to talk in English, in the next time I can do that. But nowadays with TNT, I can do this more often, talk with people without so much shyness and this kind of thing. And also this year I'm trying to learn Spanish because I need to interact with people that speak Spanish too. So TNT will help me with that too, like having this environment to speak and
Perfect.
practice.
I'm so joyful, guys, and heard to you. For you, it's a pleasure to meet as always. And I almost forgot, like always, the survey. You already know it's about to do with the survey, but I have to say thank you as always. Thank you, Alyssa. I loved it when your cats appear out of thing there. It's like the black and the white one behind you. Thank you, Joaquin. It's nice to have you here. Thank you, Diane. It's about wild. You are out. Here it is. So cute. And thank you, Andrea. I think it was such an excellent meeting. I think it's my best one in my history here. It was comfortable. You guys are so nice to talk, and I think there is. And perhaps you're going to return here next week or next month or whatever you feel comfortable, guys. And I think that is really nice. Thank you for all of you.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank you,
thank you,
Luan.
everyone.
Thank
Bye bye,
you.
guys.
Bye
Thank
bye,
you.
guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.